Welcome in. Welcome in and welcome in. Trying to make sure we got this camera and this microphone working properly. Otherwise, happy birthday to me is what I'm going to say. Give me a minute as we pull up my chat. Chapter 44 is upon myself. And you think to yourself, where did the time go? What do you do with the rest of the time? And my God, how you going to celebrate the day? So give me a moment. Let me get this set the way in which it should be. There we go. We locked and loaded. Before we get to birthday chicanery, we still got to get this good coffee in us. Get set up in my chair. So what I think we're going to have to get into today. First, who would I be and what would I be if we didn't have some sort of sports discourse? And the topic of the day, Cousin Walker, is a little sports gossip. As we know, or if you do not know, there has been a recent firing in the college football world for some relationship inappropriateness is what we'll call it. An inappropriate relationship with a staff member by a Michigan or a former Michigan head coach by the name of Sharon Moore. Sharon is not the first and unfortunately will not be the last, but he will be, I guess, an example of how not to comport yourself when you are indeed a person in a position of power. Before we get to that, thank you, Cousin Walker. Monday is the official day. The weekend gives us the opportunity to go ahead and kick it, hang out with my girls, see my granddaughter, my in-laws. Tomorrow, get to go out. As you don't know or might know, I reside in Cleveland, Ohio. The Chicago Bears play against the Cleveland Browns this weekend. Unfortunately, it's one of the few times where we play in Chicago. Ken, how you feeling and what's the weather like, man? It's one of those days where typically I would go to Rachel is what you say. She Rachel cubed for me over here, Cousin Walker. But Mr. Walker give me jazz when he say it like that. He was like, shout out to Rachel. Nonetheless, I can't go to the game, or I choose not to. So no way in hell I'm sitting outside, and I believe the temperature will be, Ken, if I'm not mistaken, about negative 25 or something like that. Yeah, hey, Ken. So, many people like, what are you going to do? What are you doing outside? So, I typically do, the wife might take me to dinner or something like that. That's the most outside that it get for me. I'm going to the casino to watch the game tomorrow because I do enjoy a little partaking in the crap table. So we're going to be on the inside. Unlike Ken and Frozen Toes, we're going to stay on the inside in the warmth. Hopefully getting a good game. My apologies. Ken, we are still, as we speak, I'm going to have to give the wife a in-service as to how to start up the computer so that we can indeed still live stream the game. T Mizzle, how you feeling today, T Miles? So, yeah, we play against the Browns. I am from here. I live here. My apologies to myself for saying that crazy shit. But but obviously my in-laws are Browns fans. So tomorrow, I don't know if she plan on going, but we're going to put the wife into her Caleb Williams jersey. Hey, I love roulette, and I'm not really much of, you say 5 and 31. Okay, I like roulette, but I can heat them up on the crap table. I ain't gonna cap to you. That left hand right there do something crazy to you out there on that table, tossing me black chips for my service. But Black Couch, how you feeling today? You know, typically, the game gives me the opportunity to go ahead and go back and forth with that the banter of sport, and it gives me the opportunity to hang with family. Like Ken, it's different this year to see my little granddaughter, sprinting around the house, figuring out her little walking legs, figuring out how she can backpedal and walk and things of that sort. And so, as much as I won't say that, like, okay, we talk about holiday spending and everything like that, I have been a bit more conscientious in terms of things that would be put out for the holiday. Gives me a pleasure to see her enjoy herself, and everything else may not have as much pomp and circumstance. So I think next year or this year, maybe whatever she get, we just wrap it up all through the year so that the holiday don't seem so much of a grand situation. Because me personally, I just like to chill in the house. So later on, we're gonna have a family kickback, as I call it, a little bit of libations, a little bit of my favorite partakings today on stream. Maybe not so overtly, but we do have a couple party favors that I might partake in with the right encouragement per se. We talk about famous birthdays. Does anybody share a famous birthday with somebody? And if so, who might that person be? Let me know in the chat. Because I'm looking through all the people who allegedly share birthdays with myself, and I don't see very many headliners, Black Couch. Like I see, what do you call a Babe Ruth, Jersey Joe Walton, from back in the day, Eddie Robinson. Really nobody that's popping out over here in terms of, wow, you share a birthday with me. So what it got me to thinking was, I'm the most famous person with my birthday, and I'll accept it. Rodney Harrison, I will not disregard. Many people might not know Rodney Harrison, former safety for the then San Diego Chargers, but most notably known for his play on the Super Bowl winning Patriots. Rodney is from Chicago, born and raised in Markham, Illinois. That's a suburb. Markham is Harvey. Appreciate you, Top Pro. How you feeling today? G Honda, what is up with you? Chelsea, how you feeling today? Man, we trying to find me a famous birthday. Nobody is really ringing out over here, but we do got something to talk about. I think it'll be a threefold stream for me. We will get to this Sharon Moore reaction courtesy of O'Shea. We will appreciate you, G Honda. That's right. We got to hit that like button. We will also go ahead and talk about any birthday memories that you might have that's indelible on you. If you like to get into the Discord and jump into the voice chat, you are more than welcome to do so. In my particular house, birthdays were more the carte blanche type of thing in terms of you being able to enjoy yourself thoroughly. Hold on, G Honda told me to Yeah, 12:15, the official day, but we here. And Juice dropped. Let me tell you something, cuz I appreciate the short on my shout out to the best giraffe on this YouTube streets. Let me see right there for the best Closet Steeler fan. Happy birthday, G Honda get the pleasure of being the show sponsor, as Mr. Walker and such would say. Also, to wrap up what I would call an enjoyable morning for myself. I am an avid video gamer. All of my frat brothers and closest friends live in different geographical parts of the United States. And so the video game, and mainly the video game chat, is where we have the biggest opportunity to engage with one another and attempt to, have some camaraderie, break down our day, have important questions that we might want to pose to each other, and be able to check in on each other in terms of the mental statuses, the family, so on and so forth. And so with that, there are a few games in particular, mainly Call of Duty. Black Ops 7 is the newest, and NBA 2K26. Those are the two games that I play the most. I do play Hogwarts Legacy, which is why the voice chat that I will be in with today, Ken, is I'm tripping. How do I not know my own chat rooms? But we in the Hogwarts common room. That's what we're in. Sorry about that. I do like to get me a good wake and bake together on a good off day. And it's off day. Bijou Phillips, Hillary Scott, and who the F is Hillary Scott and Bijou Phillips? Arc Raiders? So, okay, so I got frat brothers, they like Arc Raiders. It's a nut battle. Is it Battlefields? It's a couple games they want me to try out. Don Johnson. This Don Johnson. Kim Porter. Salute to Kim. Salute to Kim. You Top Pro, if you do game, are you what system do you do so on? And I ask that because I am gonna end my day over here with Ken. Okay. So Ken, I got me a nice candy bar. I'm a PlayStation 5 guy. I do have a Steam account, but I don't have what do you call it? The computer capabilities to game there without compromising what I got going on over here. One day that's gonna be the move out here, Top Pro. One day we're gonna get this computer upgraded where not only can it just be microphone and camera type things. G Honda, you don't play no FIFA. And look, they got a replica game of FIFA right now that's out. Gator 1914 is what it'd be over there. I think we was in G Honda's stream yesterday when I was talking to Top Pro. I mean, not the Top Pro. When I was talking to Jay Tillman about one of the clips that G Honda got, and it's from what is the other guys? The Will Ferrell is where the name Gator on there derives from. Where I was going with that. I was gonna get a PS5. I know a lot of people do a lot of RP and everything like that in my Twitch communities and so on and so forth, Ken. And typically, this is where my birthday stream would be. It allows you to have a bit more debauchery. I'm not gonna lie in terms of the overt consumption of libations, edibles and everything else like that. And like those are things that I don't mind at all. And usually how that goes is you set up goals, fiscal goals, so they can come in the form of bits, subscriptions to your page. Over here we call them memberships. On Twitch they call them subs, and Cash App, things like that. Whenever you set mile markers, like if I get to X, Y, and Z, then that would be I'm going to do this, this, and this. When you hit those mile markers, I've had a lot of inebriated and so on type of days. Erica, thank you very much. I love FIFA. Let me tell you something, G Honda, for real. I learned so many like alternative music styles and songs and things like that back in the day from a sports soundtrack. I guess I like music, but I'm not the type to actively keep up with everything that just goes on every day, every day, every day. So like I don't really know I don't care about a lot of new stuff because it ain't really my cup of tea. But I won't say that. Some things are, and that's what I don't like about YouTube. I can't play no music. I can't fake karaoke. Y'all out here, we'll be on Twitch. You can get them drunk. Every time I close my eyes, I wake up feeling so horny. You can get them like that. Yeah, I can't get you out of my mind. Nope, can't get them. One day I'm gonna learn how to sing, y'all. I'm gonna practice it. 360. Hey, I have never played. I take that back. I played. What's the game? The first Xbox. It was a shooting game. Everybody used to play this damn game, and I can't think of the name of it. But I only played Xbox one time. Damn, that's gonna haunt my brain. TikTok, Chelsea. I have yet to get a TikTok. I still don't have a TikTok account. And if I got a TikTok account, what do you put on TikTok? How do you post on TikTok? Halo. That's what it was. Halo, Ken. Yeah, I played one time. That big ass controller just ain't for me. It was at that moment I knew I was gonna continue to always be a PlayStation guy. You transition from 64 was my last thing. I didn't get into Dreamcast, but PlayStation always been the system of choice for me. Ken, so what I've learned, Ken, when you just say that, I've really learned I'm not poor. Well, I should say I've never been as poverty stricken as I may have perceived or thought myself to be. But you do get to see other people in comparison to your life. I do get to hear and regale tales from Gavin X and Mr. Walker, and it does give you a bit more perspective to understand that, like I said, birthdays was something that my mother always was gonna make sure was special. Christmas, and we had to put that on delay. I understood that I got younger sisters. They was the people that needed to be satiated by the fake whimsical magic of this pagan holiday, as many would call it. But that's what it is. Yeah, Dreamcast controller was awkward as hell. PS5 is, hey, so Ty Pro, I got the one with the disc and the hard drive combo because I knew it was still gonna be a time where I might have to buy a disc or see a disc on discount because I am a bargain shopper. So I will buy a disc in a minute if it's cheaper than buying the digital. Not to mention, I do understand that at any given moment they reserve the right, because we don't read these fine print. I know it's something written in there where they can just revoke or rescind all of your digital purchases and get rid of things. yeah, PlayStation has done the most evolution in terms of games, and I think everybody else kind of falling in line with it. GoldenEye was absolute. Hey, so we played GoldenEye and WCW when I was a kid. For the most part, when it came to 64 T miles, and we played a Mario Kart. Memory cards. That's right. Metal Gear Solid was probably one. See, I think Metal Gear gave like a what do you call it? It kind of gave a developed Contra feel. Tomb Raider, I knew about. What's my thing? I played a lot more sports games back in the day, for real, still. And when we was always gonna play college NCAA college basketball, it was always gonna be any game that came out that was, especially back in the Nintendo and Sega era with Jordan versus Bird, Bulls versus Blazers. It was always gonna be some sports type things going on, sports and shooting. And what it's really come back to full circle, in this life, in my adult stages, those still are two things that I can partake in and feel good about: sports and shooting. Not the person who has visited the gun range as often as others for practice of firearm use. Same time, those types of things do interest you. And right now we got all grinds on YouTube. If I can grind YouTube like we try to grind badges on 2K or something, I'll already be monetizing these streets. Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, hell, all of those types of things. Basketball, realize that all of those games graphically were so behind, but they gave you so much joy, anticipation, and the way in which you can get lost in those things. And what I didn't realize back in the day when my grandmother used to call these things mindless, there were so many avenues in which you can be monetized for said mindlessness. So I do understand that some people, and only some, will have an affinity to develop games and things like that. But I mean, somebody gonna want to pick the brains of it, and somebody's actually good at those games. Because while I love to play games, I was never really great at them. But I'm gonna still be able to play them. It's still a way for me to be able to interact and engage with my friends. Sometimes with my family. My nephew is about in his late 20s, so every now and again we get on there with him. So Ty Pro, when I first, and I won't say that I regret ever streaming on Twitch. I regret the lack of understanding of the two platforms, because I still could have continued to stream on Twitch, yet I could have given a lot more time to my niche on YouTube so that I can learn how to compete. Right now, I'm still learning how to grow. The growth portion and everything like that has some organic competition built in, in terms of numbers and everything like that, because it allows me to have people like Ken gravitate and have an affinity like myself, or a T Miles or a James Jones. I appreciate you pulling up, my boy. I'm at about 830 hours right now, Top Pro. And those are the things, like, while I know the growth of shorts, it pains me to understand and learn the growth of this platform, because overall I got 3,700 clocked watch hours, but your YouTube shorts don't count as such. So all of that time don't count. Only my videos, my live streams, and the live streams truly, I think, have been the thing that's getting me watch time. I need to learn better And that's what I'm saying. Ty Pro, how long you been going live? Because even in that, it could be topic at times, and that's why I said my niche is a slow grind. Because the way in which you can and I'm anxious to see where I don't have this playlist. So you're gonna get in this Discord right now and explain this one to me. Walk me through this one, if you will, or after the stream over with, walk me through this one, G Honda, so I can see if I don't have. That's what I'm saying. In 3 months time, in 90 days time, you got 3/4 of 1,000, and I've been on this thing for about 4 times that. And so, like I said, sports information is instantaneous, is ongoing, and the people that really get those things is gonna be able to thrive a lot sooner. It appears. And man, I'm gonna figure it out today. When I'm done with this, since it apparently, and G Honda has recommended this 85 times, so apparently I haven't done what he has asked me to do, or I haven't done it right. So we gonna get on the study buddy for the day to figure that one out, because we on that's what we on right now. Obviously, I think we had 601 subscribers, so I do understand that the shorts continue my growth outwardly in terms of the people that hit that subscribe button. My networking and my live streams allow me the opportunity to get people to be a part of said live streams. And, the collabs and everything else are going to give me the same things. And that's why I said, apparently, the playlist that I've created are not sufficient, Rachel, because they're not visible or something else. Because I got 3 different playlists. One for such a review that we're about to go through right now. Yeah, I gotta do a lot more edits and figure out how to cut up a live sports talk. Like, certain things prediction wise are the things that come to mind most evidently when it's something that I would think that's clip worthy or what have you. Maybe a over the top reaction, but in a lot of context, it has to be a game changing play for me to be super over the top, which is, that's when the Bernstein type of personality that I might have, and it might not be that boring, but it's not gonna be rah rah all the time about none of that type shit right there. And I love sports, but if I get too high about every touchdown, I realize the other sides will crash you down when it comes to a loss. And I don't like losing, Rachel. The competition in me will not allow it to happen. And so, like you said, we gonna put together a playlist today, Operation Playlist, gonna be executed, because we own it. Yeah, no problem, no problem. And while we talking, I'm gonna stop talking. Let's get over here and watch this O'Shea Duke Jackson video on Sharon Moore. Let's get a few comments and some thoughts about it. And you know what? And for the most part, Top Pro, that's exactly how it's going for me right now, man. Like I said, when we talk about a James Jones or a Ken or a T Miles, they have a common interest in what we talk about. They show up every week to break it down with me and do the things they need. No Steelers gear will be worn here. G Honda. We should have made a bet about something like that, because you'd have looked nice in orange and navy. But let's go. Let's see if we can get this cracking right quick. We're gonna listen in, take some times periodically to stop and analyze any similar situations, as I have been privy to a bit of this video, so I don't know if I've seen it in totality, but we will go through it. Michigan coach Sharon Moore is in regret of a inappropriate relationship. Let's watch.
2022, Ime Udoka was suspended by the Boston Celtics for the entire 2022-2023 NBA season after violating team policies. Now, it's important to know the year right before this, he took his team to the NBA Finals, and at the time, he was one of the most popular coaches in the league. But as you know, he got fired. He would eventually get hired by the Houston Rockets, and he would actually address these claims.
As you reflect on what happened in Boston, do you feel like the Celtics were justified in the actions that they...
Now, before we keep going, this guy here is Ime Udoka, as he stated, former coach of the Boston Celtics, current coach of the Houston Rockets, and he has former fiance of Nia Long. He was fired from Boston due to an alleged inappropriate relationship like G Honda has with Navy and Orange in his high school. This was with a female staffer, and this is the result. He was terminated, but you'll listen in and see what he has to say.
They took against you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, my part in it was to take ownership and accountability for my part. You know, they had a choice to make a decision, and they went that route. And my thing was own up to it, take responsibility, and you know, I served the suspension and had to own it, honestly. So, same thing I'll preach to the guys. I can't sit here and not take accountability myself. So it was their right to go about it however they wanted to, and that's the choice they took.
Later on in 2023, another black coach by the name of Mel Tucker, who was on a 10-year...
Now, in that statement, does anybody not think that he was directly taking accountability for his actions there? Or do we think it was more so company line, have to say it? G Honda said he blamed Nia Long for Ime Udoka. And Rachel Q say, I blame yo ass, G Honda. No, but she really says, did she blame Ime? Oh, you said nope, you don't believe him? I believe Ime got a bit of contrition to himself out there. But I do believe that your statement made was company policy, so that you can start the new portion of your career in a different way. But I don't know that I can say that the situation itself didn't teach him something, because he lost a lot. I can get a Rachel. And you know, I almost never met my wife in that capacity, because that's like, I don't date people that I work with. But I did once. Look what happened. Carry on.
$95 million contract with the Michigan State Spartans. Well,
Michigan State fired head coach Mel Tucker today for inappropriate conduct. Tucker was accused of sexual harassment during a phone call with a prominent driver, an activist that he had hired to speak to his team. The university terminating what's left of the 10-year, $95 million contract that Tucker signed less than 2 years ago.
Now, in the Ime Udoka case, he lost his job over sleeping with a white woman, despite...
Now, Rachel, Do you believe that it is 100% his fault? Yes, Rachel. 95 mil. They voided. He only finished 2 years of his deal. 2 years in, they voided the rest of his deal right there. So I think he had 10 years, 95. So he was at about 9.5 mil. So he got about 19 mil. He got 19 million of that, and then the rest gone because you want to have inappropriate conversations at your job as the head coach in a position of prominence for a major university. Like, they talk about risk, reward, and like loss and liability and things of that sort. $95 million? But still, I'm curious to know, do we believe that this is 100% his, I guess, fault, if you want to use that word? Or is there some culpability for everybody to share? You know, in a situation like Ime. Because with Sharon, I don't know I can't tell you. I'm sorry, we're just gonna keep on watching and we'll figure it out.
Like me and married to Nia Long. And Mel Tucker, who has a black wife, stop the show. She actually filed for divorce. He lost his job behind the white lady. And you would think that black men would get the hint, right? Sharon Moore, a young brother from Kansas who was an offensive lineman, went to the University of Oklahoma, and he worked his way up through the coaching ranks. He coached tight ends at Central Michigan. He then moved to Michigan, became the offensive line and co-offensive coordinator. Became the offensive coordinator. He would be an important reason as to why Michigan would win their national title in 2024. Once Jim Harbaugh went back to the NFL with the LA Chargers, Sharon Moore would get an opportunity to become the head coach.
Now, just for context, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, G Honda, is not Sharon Moore, or was not he, the first African American coach at the University of Michigan? You said, what did you just write and what did OJ just say? The first of his ilk to get the job as prominent as the coach of the University of Michigan. And instantly, we let success go to our head where we thought that was the move. Secondly, well, I got a couple other questions, but let's listen a bit more.
But it was not without consequence.
They were going to get rid of him whether he had success or not. But the moment that they started losing games, Dave Portnoy and the Michigan donors were going to run him out of town. Sharon Moore now is coming off of a loss to Oklahoma. He has to sit out for 2 weeks while he serves a suspension on behalf of Jim Harbaugh. And Michigan's going to lose 2 more games because they're not even able to practice, speak to, or talk to the head coach of the football team.
See, here is something that we got to understand. Sharon Moore and Harbaugh, they were in some kind of scandal with hand-stealing gestures from other teams. And it was a big deal. Sharon Moore served some suspensions. Jim Harbaugh served some suspensions. And Harbaugh was kind of under like a 10-year suspension where like any team in college football that hired him, it would be difficult for them to do it. Mel Tucker's under the same situation right now.
And you see that right there. So Jim Harbaugh left to go and coach in the NFL. Sharon was already there as his OC, and justifiably so. I won't even say rightfully so, but justifiably so, was promoted to the head coach. And you were promoted to head coach amongst a cloud of scandal from sign stealing a couple years back, with Jim Harbaugh being the head coach when the year you won the national championship. You served a suspension due to those types of happenings, i.e., the school may have been looking at you anyway. And yet, you thought that it was going to be the most prudent decision of yours to not only deal with a particular person on staff, but even go further. So, he took it a step further, in my opinion. And these are the types of things that you absolutely cannot do when you are in a position of power or in any position, because it just doesn't make any sense with the amount of recklessness that this guy was moving with. And we're going to see why.
Now, so Harbaugh just for the most part couldn't stay in college football, and so Sharon Moore was kind of that last tree that was kind of looming from the Harbaugh regime, right? And so people thought that he was going to lose his job anyway, but really that wasn't the case. I mean, he had the rebuild team. He went 8-5 in Michigan 2024. This year he's 7-3. They lost to Ohio State, but it was competitive, and they have a young team. So I mean, I think he's performing pretty good. He's 16-8 as a head coach at Michigan. But then there was a rumor that was coming out earlier this month.
He has a type. He has a type.
That's part of the reporting. That's his type. I'm sorry, but it's when I'm up to my fifth woman I've talked to, and they're all between the ages of 25 to 38, 39, and they're all skinny blonde white women. He has a type, and that he's allowed to have a type, but it's certainly unbecoming to be trying to meet up for dinner with various. Have I said too much?
No. Oh no.
Well, let's just say I've seen some of these exchanges personally, and
I think you're channeling your inside voice now, Justin. I think that's what's going on.
Well, I can be a little more informal here, but and it's funny because and this is one of the callbacks I'm waiting on. Could be any minute, could be an hour, I don't know, because Michigan is the.
Now, this is, I guess, the bigger issue. This guy says that Sharon has a type. So to indicate that he has a type means that a type would have to be more than, I would say, at least two of the same type of person. Rachel, we'll get to that in a moment. Just the same. Sit tight. But it's shocking that these are multiple encounters. And my other question is, this Justin Spiro, what do you do? Are you a sports or a gossip reporter? Because I'm trying to figure out why you would be privy to this information and what it really would matter to him to be revealing it right now on the scoop. But I guess he has to be some sort of reporter. Ken, hang tight. There will be a twist for you, my brother. It will not be. It's analyzed in a way, and I will tell you why it matters. I'll give you one moment.
They're well aware. Ward Manuel has had multiple conversations with his team up there, athletic director at University of Michigan today. They're very aware of what's going on. They've known what's going on for years with this guy, that's part of the reporting. If you've known about this stuff, why is this guy even here?
That rumor would actually be true. Come to find out, your boy Sharon Moore had been sleeping or at least trying to date multiple white women, around U of M. And the most important one is this lady, Paige Shiver. Okay. Paige Shiver joined.
And see, Rachel, this is what I want to have anybody understand. Bobby Petrino, Nick Saban. I'm trying to, because Bobby is one of the more prominent ones, but I think it's about 4 or 5 coaches that are not of my skin color that have been removed from their universities for the same situation, as this is a morality clause in their contracts. And once these things become public, it brings reproach upon the organization because of the media presence, the investigative reportings, so on and so forth, and it's shaking the stick of the university, and it jeopardizes credibility. So in those particular situations, you get to see that this is not race based, in my opinion, when we talk about it, but it does have to put you in the light to understand that a person that was under the spotlight for other things in the university already should have not been so avidly and so overtly moving about, as Ken said, risking it for the biscuit. And not just one biscuit, apparently several. And then, yes, Ken, the external results of that is something that gives even more credence to the wrong way in which you're moving. So it's G Honda, don't be over here ruining things, man.
In the University of Michigan program in November 2021. She was working as an on-campus recruiting and football operations coordinator on then Jim Harbaugh's staff. All right. She was then promoted to her current role as executive to the head coach in February 2024, shortly after Sharon Moore took over the University of Michigan program. This is important to know. Sharon Moore.
Okay. So she was a staffer on Jim Harbaugh's. I know, Rachel. I wasn't gonna spoil it until we got there, but G Honda, the giraffe, had to stick his head over the fence and ruin it for us. But not only did he take which I know to be your side chick when you were in this position as the OC, you took her $50,000 salary and you allegedly promoted her to the assistant to the head coach, whatever that means, and made her salary $90,000 a year. So not only did you continue to have this relationship, but you start essentially paying for it, and at an exorbitant amount, just so it can be at your beck and whim throughout the course. That is crazy. Crazy as. But Chelsea, just to speak on what you said, I do think they are hyper focused on it because multiple reports have focused on just the black coaches. Another SBCism. 2 things can be true. Yes, they will be hyper focused on a lot of things because of his skin color, as society has taught us throughout the course of my now almost 44 years on this earth. What it tells me is that while I do have some autonomy to move, I can't move. Hell, they can't move like that. I just gave you examples of coaches that are not African American that have been removed from their jobs and kicked down the road for certain things like that. if they can lose their jobs and they are what many would call privileged and have a different set of rules, you absolutely can't do it. Had to spend drinking my coffee before it got cold. But if you have a threshold of rule breaking here, as they would classify as the Viking man, then mine is here already. Yes, you have some leeway, but you don't have the same. And you need to know that walking into it. And for you to be lacking in awareness for something like that already shows that maybe you weren't the best person to be in a leadership position. Not to mention, this is the only one of note that you paid. The others that he's speaking on, who knows what you was doing, but let's continue on.
Moore is married to a white woman by the name of Kelly Moore. They have been married since 2015. So yes, he was married. All right. Now, in the case of the other guys, Mel Tucker,
yes, Ken,
and
that's
Udoka,
that
both
was
of them
that was
were
one
in
of the other
relationships
names,
with
Urban
black
Meyer.
women. But in the case of Sharon Moore, he already had a wife, a white wife. And that's why the last clip said he has his preferences. Well, allegedly, he got this lady pregnant, Paige Shiver.
Now, Hubert Davis is the next. Watch your mouth, man. Don't you talk about Hubert like that. Well, okay, so Chelsea, though, right there, like you said, because Ken pointed it out about Urban Meyer. When you are a person like Urban Meyer and Bobby Petrino and Nick Saban and so on and so forth, you will have the opportunity to circumvent and bypass those things with a little bit of time. Even in the case of an Ime Udoka at the professional level, because of the heights that he had reached already, a couple teams were willing to take the risk. In college, he is the first to ever get that job. I'm believing, for me, that he is going to, well, he would have had the opportunity to coach again, but then things went further, and we can talk about that as well, because G. Honda brought up a good point. So yes, Chelsea, I believe that he could have had an opportunity to rebound, but I think that his second act is something that cost us, and this is what hyper focuses on what Ken just spoke on, and it says, this is the point. You're leading young men. Don't be a goofball and set a good example of what a man does. It doesn't matter what skin. That part right there is evident across the board. When you don't do this, however, Ken, one side of that coin, i.e. a Sharon Moore, you will never get the opportunity or the bite of the apple that others will get, whether it be at a smaller school, back at their original schools and everything else, and so on and so forth. Ime is the exception in this instance where you get the second chance. Ask Mark Jackson, and don't get me down the road of Mark Jackson. I don't agree with him in the alleged reason that he's not coaching the NBA basketball, but very rarely do you have the opportunity to make a misstep. Yeah, Ken, exactly. Now, it would have been something way lesser scale, and he will never get a Power 5, like Chelsea speaks on. A Power 5 job he will never see again. Ever. Like, the days of millions being made by him are done. He might have got the opportunity to go to a HBCU and be 100,000 there, or a NAIA or something like that. But now we got further. We got a further rabbit hole to deep dive into. So let's continue on and see if we can find any more things in these missteps that Mr. Moore.
They found out that he was sleeping with her, and then guess what? They fired him. Now, after he was fired, allegedly he broke into that lady's house and there was some other stuff. I'm not even going to deal with that. I'm not even concerned with it. All right. That's for another day. That's not my point of the video. The idea.
Okay. Now, O'Shea says that there are some other things, you know, like the alleged breaking into someone's house, the arrest on charges of stalking, and let's make sure, let's just go ahead and catch up with all of it to make sure that I got all the facts. Don't want to miss any of them. So what criminal charges? Home invasion. And this is from the New York Times, by the way, that we're about to read from, just so that I can get a glimpse of the things that O'Shea does not care to touch on, but we have to touch on because it does highlight Chelsea why he will never get another job. It says ex-Michigan coach Sharon Moore charged with home invasion, stalking, breaking and entering. He was arraigned Friday on charges of third-degree home invasion and stalking and breaking and entering, stemming from an alleged incident Wednesday involving a Michigan football staffer. His bond was set at $25,000, so obviously he bonded out. And probable cause conference was set for January 22nd of next year. Moore is going to be tethered to a GPS as part of his bond condition, and he's going to continue mental health treatment. The home invasion charge is a felony, while the stalking and the breaking and entering, or B&E as some would call it, misdemeanors. He was arraigned Friday in Washtenaw County, 14A district, and he appeared via video feed wearing a jumpsuit. He was fired for cause. So fired for cause means that they try not to pay you, bruh. And they're going to be able to do so just under the guise that you have brought reproach upon the organization and thus disregarded the moral clause in your contract that you signed. So they're going to be able to get away with not paying you, not even buying you out, no severance. And you probably won't ever get another job again because of these breaking and entering, stalking, and home invasion, which is a felony. I know somebody personally who broke into a house, his house. That house was in someone else's name. He was charged for breaking and entering when he kicked in that door, when she was in there serving up a black pill. Understand that crash out season is what's going to put this man under. That's a felony, and it's alleged that she was with child. He wanted her to get rid of said child, and he threatened to delete and self-delete himself. Now I don't know now they could, like many times they could have taken the pregnancy part and added a little jazz to every story just so they can get clickbait and everything like that. So like I said, this is pure speculation and alleged that these were the actions that he was attempting to stalk and invade her house for, so that the relationship and other things didn't get out. Nonetheless, those situations in themselves will allow him to never
exist. This man was getting paid $6.1 million a year. The rest of his contract is now voided. He's going to lose that money. Let's look at the reasons that a University of Michigan coach could lose their employment. The university has the right to terminate the employment of the head coach for cause in the event of any of the following. 1. Failure of the head coach in material respect to perform the services required of him under this agreement. Conviction of the head coach of any criminal offense involving fraud, conviction of any felony, which he didn't do. All right. Conduct of the head coach which offends against public decency or morality, as shall be determined by standards prevailing in the community, or which results in the reasonable determination of the university could result in material injury to the reputation, interests, or obligations of the university or program. Misconduct as defined in sections 1 and 2A of University of Michigan standard practice. All right. When you go to C, him messing with Paige, the staffer, this is public decency or morality. All right. So this does create material injury to the reputation or the interests or
material
obligations of the
injury.
university of the program. All right. Now, I know some people are going to talk about this and say that this is racist. This is what it is. Well, to be honest, a lot of coaches have faced this. Bobby Petrino, for example, Arkansas faced this same thing in 2012 when he was doing really well at Arkansas and just messed up his career. But what black men, and I keep seeing this, a lot of black men that get into these situations, number one, they have to be excellent to get them, all right? To get into University of Michigan, Michigan State as the head coach, as an African-American or black American head coach, you have to be elite. All right. Now, once you get to where you're at, you have to show restraint. OK, because any little reason will get you out of there. I don't know why the guy felt that, because he was the offensive coordinator of the national championship winning team. He had some luxury. No, he's not. All right. He's done. He's 39. You crashed out here. You got locked up after you got fired. So what are the opportunities for a young guy like this? Almost none.
Once you crash out,
you would need to go to a smaller school. I mean, he'll probably get hired if all this can go away eventually. He's an offensive line coach. He probably has a recruiting pipeline. He'll probably become, some level of an offensive coach, offensive line coach. He'll have to have an extremely good pipeline. Maybe some
crash
school
out
like
where he
Middle
never
Tennessee
get,
State would take a shot at him. Maybe an HBCU, which you probably won't do that. Some school in the MAC, Ball State, Toledo. Then he'd have to win and do exceptionally good there. If he could win and do exceptionally good there, he would then get a chance to come back to like a Power 5 program, Big Ten school.
I don't believe that the crash out has done some irreparable damage to his opportunities. We do have to understand in a lot of ways, and I'll give you the example of my own personal life here, Ken. I am a recreational therapist by trade in terms of education. I do not have my job in therapeutic recreation anymore, on the whole, at least in this state, because of negative interactions with people of the opposite race. I say this because I was hired before I left the interview, Ken. I have a master's level education, a national credential in terms of my certification to practice therapy, and to have or to know that your disagreements that are not based on anything other than knowledge and performance are characterized as abrasive, cocky, arrogant, and so on and so forth, because I have a different opinion or a knowledge base, whereas I have two peers that just happen to not share my reflection, and they absolutely know nothing whatsoever, and everybody can do the same things, but you can be treated differently for it. Prime example, when you are reprimanded for a office. Oh yeah, Ken. That's I think that's all she was talking about right there. Is coaching. He won't never get one of those types of jobs. And Rachel, okay, just a quick side note right here when we talk about your last statement there. I involve myself in a lot of sports chats that go along with Bears talk and so on and so forth, and a lot of people say totally reckless, vitriolic things that absolutely have no basis. And I know 3,000%, if you've seen half the people face to face, you wouldn't even look their direction, let alone utter these words or things that they type. But the people, for the most part, and this is held true up for me, I don't really deal with anybody who would like to talk crazy or be disrespectful because we have a difference of opinion about something. And not to mention, at the end of the day, when we find out that we don't even have a disagreement about it, communication, as I often speak on or highlight in any of those situations when we on panel with truth over lies or anything like that, the way in which we communicate or articulate those things is going to be to our benefit or detriment in terms of getting our message across. In that exchange, we found that everybody was in agreement that he will not most likely get another coaching job. Nonetheless, had either one of those type messages been misconstrued and met with an attitude or anything like that, it would instantly discredit what the person was trying to say, and nobody would ever get their point across. So now we trying to, hurl ad hominem and everything like that. So I think that in some ways I might be a good judge of who won't do things like that. And when those people are invited to come around and have a conversation with me, I think it's kind of a mutually respected or respecter of people. I don't think we necessarily have douchebags around. I am a bit of an asshole. Yes, I am a mailman with a MBA. Never in my life did that I think I was going ahead and having to do anything but what I went to study for. At the same time, I ain't there no more. We 8 years into my postal career. It gives me the opportunity to, in some ways, because I am a pretty sedentary person, it lets me go ahead and get out, walk about 9 miles a day, rain, hail, sleet, or snow. It also allows me to refocus and have a refreshed purpose of what needs to be done to get the job done. I can't worry about what I went to school for 20 years ago, because on the whole, that really don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got another job to do, and you can be therapeutic as you want to in these streets, because I can test that people that are not diagnosed with a mental health illness. I believe most of those people are the people that really need therapy. Yeah. All right. Now, I do have a question, because I believe it's going to be basketball for myself, but we got a couple more minutes of this video. Let's wrap it up. See exactly what we can pick off the bone and what type of conclusion we can make when it comes to what a situation like this would render and how he can rebound in any way, shape, or form. Let's see.
School in the SEC, but he would have to do extremely well. But why would you have to do that when you've already messed up your opportunity? Like, what is it about certain black men not understanding leadership? Just because you're making $6 million a year, guess what? You don't own the team. All right. If you're going to do stuff like that, I hate to say this is going to be controversial. You shouldn't do it anyway. And note that I said you shouldn't do it anyway, but you need to be Diddy. You need to own what you got. Okay. If you're going to act a fool, you need to own the business. You need to be so powerful that you can make a Ciroc sale. You cannot work.
Now, this is what he's saying. I think you need to not be a worker, but be total boss to call yourself moving this crazily, in my estimation. Could be wrong. But I don't think so. Who? Sir, I am a union representative and a union steward. I don't do none of that. I give you good counsel on what should happen. And if you don't do it, you cannot say that I didn't tell you so. I'm trying to I got to respond to a couple things. I am trying to work on how to keep my stream going Sunday, 1 o'clock, so we can actually get a listen in to the game while I am recreating and having a little fun, trying to win me a few dollars while we out here mopping up the Browns. I don't think that game should offer us much pushback in terms of a result, but it is a top 3 defense in the league. It does give me much concern in the cold weather that passing won't be much of a thing. But knowing my coach, I won't rule it out. I just want to see exactly how the running game and the defense will do its job in order to keep Myles Garrett contained. Myles Garrett's going for a sack record. He needs 3 sacks in order to get the all-time NFL sack record, and he would do so. And how many games would this be? The 14th game? That would be impressive. 14 games, but I don't want you to do it against me, bro. So I'm hope he can get 1 a game. He can get 1 a game for the next 3 games and get there. That way he get there in 16, and nobody can say, well, he had this. But I know that he would like to get there in 14 because they had 14 game seasons before 16 and before 17. So that would give ultimate ultimate validation to what he's doing. Nobody can be like, well, he played an extra game. None of that. Now, this is what I will say about being a mailman. I have a new route this year, and it's a little different when you get to go outside and you walk these hot streets, and it's cold, overly hot, it's rainy, windy, and people be like, you know what? We're gonna start giving out. We're gonna show our mailman. If y'all don't know if y'all do, give y'all mailman cards, snacks, cash, whatever. Give them some acknowledgement if they do a good job. Don't just give people good stuff and they don't do nothing. But tip your letter carriers. Hell, if you got truck drivers that always come by that you see more than the others, I drop some of my what I call my fellow street workers. I drop some of them a little thank you. We're gonna figure it. We're gonna try to figure it out for everybody. We're gonna be a bit more communal with Christmas. All the families get to hang out together. That's my favorite part. Plus, if y'all can see, that beard getting a little gray these days. So you got a different role in the family holiday. You know, everybody never get to realize, or I won't say everybody. A lot of people don't harken back to see all of the progressive steps that you get at the holiday, from not knowing the holiday going on to having some semblance of what was told to you about the holiday, to being at the kid table and being excluded from grown-up stuff, to the teenagers who finally get to have a little bit of the best of both worlds. Then you'll transition into finally being an adult to involve yourself in a holiday in which you witnessed some of the older adults do when you were a kid. And you transition into this final two phases where you are daddy, uncle, and eventually you get to be me, Papa. And Papa got a whole different outlook on what the holiday about. I just like to see everybody be happy, full, come hang out. Like no gifts, and you can have a feast of kings out here. I don't know how much money they're still spending on a holiday when you're just going crazy on the biggest catered dinner. And by catered, I mean no expense can be spared on what you want to eat. But is that what people want? Most people don't. Now, let's close that out. And if we can see right here, I got this wonderful thing called a video game. It's 2K. It's 2K World for me today. I'm trying to level up. I'm in a crew. If anybody plays 2K, let me know. And you are not a part of a crew, let me be the first one to extend an invitation to mine, the Troublemakers. Right now, 44 is really hitting me because my damn knee is barking at me. Ken, I would show you my newest candy bar treat. Mr. Walker says don't involve yourself in candy and sugars. I got a little bit of a hankering. And this one is a doozy for us. So I do believe that one of my besties is going to be joining me in the Discord at some point. And Ken, just to get into it, I do respect the defense and I respect the creativity of their offense right now with Shadua. I don't believe that our ground game is fallible. I think it travels in any capacity, any weather, and it does what it needs to. And I still don't believe that the Browns have a sophisticated enough offensive mastery for me to be totally shook by what Shadua can do to us. I'm aware that Shadua has some skill and that he can do some things to put himself in an excellent position offensively. I do believe that we have a sustainable offense against anybody to go ahead and tone that down. What has to happen is that you have to go out there and jump on them early and totally take them out of the game in the sense where they have to throw the ball. Now, Cases and Cams, how you feeling today? Welcome in. I appreciate you pulling up. Everybody who has thus far, go ahead, hit that like button. Salute to you. We are doing a bit of a breakdown on Bears Browns. I have a bit of a guilty desire for one Quinshon Judkins to have a good game. By a good game, I mean, maybe a rushing touchdown, maybe just some good solid running yards and a couple forward receptions for 40 yards or something like that. Because I do not want to sit one of my premier players. I don't think that my run defense is so stout in any capacity to have to sit people. I do think that my offense can be good enough to nullify the run game for the other team, and that is the only thing that kind of gives me a bit of pause as to whether or not Quinshon Judkins should be in my lineup. It is playoff weekend. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have started off my fantasy week with absolute boo-boo. Like straight trash. Because They gave me 9 points. Bucky Irvin did very little. He's on my roster in almost every league, so you know it's all going downhill right there. I'm gonna tell you that. We're gonna need some strong performances from a lot of people because in fantasy sports and just like in any thing, you play, in my estimation, not for the love of the game. We always playing for money. You can't win any sort of fiscal prize if you don't win the first week of the playoffs. So this week it's important to not take that L. If in fact I take that L, you're going home. It's win or go home this week. You have no chance to advance and do the things you need to do to thrive. I got, as I stated before, last year alone, we got one of the good old Sean Bardys. We need to keep them going, keep them moving. I need to keep being a champ. Till then, we're gonna get into some 2K over here because, like I told you, I'm a part of a crew, and I need to get all things that's afforded to me out here so that I can help them go. Secondly, it's a Saturday afternoon, early in the morning. I figured I'd get my stream done and wrapped before many people get their day started. What will the day consist of for many of you, if you will? Anybody got any? Today we supposed to get snow. I don't like it. Chicago's getting hit with weather, and we are getting subsequent weather from the home city. So for me, I'm not really feeling it. I don't have to go outside, but I do got to go outside because I need a couple things out there. Win games in this event center over here, and we're gonna find out if you're bored and moved on and getting this game going for you. You know, out of bounds is what we're gonna call it. Claim this daily reward. New York getting snow later and tomorrow. See, and that's like basically be the problem. Like whatever weather we get at home in Chicago, essentially it just trickles down towards Ohio. I never got any say so in it. You just got to take that. You know, what can you do? You got to go by everything daily and try to see if you got money. Bulls won last night. Pacers won last night. I got one of them wrong, y'all. Let's see what I got wrong. So annoyed with this. And whenever my frat brother does pop into the chat, I will possibly have to drop visual so that I can keep everything else pristine. We can hear our voices and enjoy some of the conversation that one might have while playing the game. You did? I know y'all understand that one. Now, who else getting snow besides New York? Because we supposed to get, like I said, I think we're going to get about 8 today. And if you will, give me one moment. Singular bets are the things that happen in Vegas unless we doing some non-sports wagering. Boom, boom, boom. The smaller the parlay range is the better chance of it happening, i.e. a 2 to 3 leg parlay is typically what anybody who would advise a parlay bet is what they would that's what they would do. When you going to Vegas? These are days you need some good old check back music. I'm going to give me a warm-up game in this theater. Because I need one. And I might need me. So we typically go every like August for the guys trip. Now, more September. Maybe we'll get a good teammate. Maybe we won't. I doubt it. But we'll try it out. We going into the theater and trying to drum up a little bit of fun. And once again, I do appreciate everybody hanging out. All the birthday sentiment. Appreciate you again for the Cash App G Honda. Let's get locked into the game. See if I can get a dub. Now, my perimeter defense ain't going to be too good right now because it ain't ever going to be. Hopefully, he don't want to shoot. He's 6'11", 212. Don't try to shoot. You know, I'm 250 out here, so I'm out here getting that weight. No, sir. Oh, he got me. He got me. I don't really, Ray. I can deal either way. In Vegas, because I'm only gonna be out there for 3 or 4 days. Oftentimes, 3 or 4 days for me. I like April or May, but the wife don't want nothing that's still cold to her. Gotcha. Oh, that nigga, he ate that mug. All right, we got you. If you know how to understand what the back door was, I was finna cut, goofball. Man, you doing too much, bro. Come on, teammate. I got to save him and everything else. Yeah, and September is starting to be the move though. I ain't gonna lie to you. We starting to calm down a little bit. I want to go to like Arizona in February or something. Just because it's cold as hell where I'm at. He got me. Step up. There you go. He got me. Step up. There we go. He got to cook my ass. Because he got all 48 points, so. I got my water. Hope you got yours too. I got my water. Hope you got yours too. I got my water. Granny got hers. Get down, little guy. What I can do out here is I got a unique set of skills, y'all. I'm a rebounder and defender. Screen setter. Screen setter. Don't ya know? Screen setter. He ain't gonna do too much of that getting around me, but they think they are. They think they are, cause I was about to cut, and it was up. He be going too fast, man. He don't know what to do. He don't know what to do. No, sir. No, sir. Let's get some of that. I like when they say that right there. When it says that, it means somewhere deep down inside, you did what you had to do. Play of the game, me. Me. They can say whatever they want. Me. That's who winning. Me. That's who. At least in one game, you can be a winner while you can be a winner. Everything ain't gonna allow you to win. Be a winner while you can be a winner out here. If you just coming in, or if you forgot when you came in, hit that like button. The gift of watch time. We're gonna get this what do you call it? Playlist together. I don't think I've never been to Vegas in June, but I've been in May, been in September, been in August. Those are my 3 months. I've never been any other time. Alley-oop plays earn 2 bonus points. So I'm going to have to toss a lob to my compadre if he ever runs the lane. You got to get somebody who fill the lane with you, but my teammate the same. So he going to do the same-ish. You feel me? Okay. Bluesy. 6'10", 240. I might change. I might get that complexion. I might get his complexion out here, y'all. I might get out here and be on some bluesy. Shabuzi. Get some of that right there. Man, you tripping, bro. Come on now. You want to take a timeout? Bruh, you tripping, bro. And we finna turn it over because he went somewhere. I hate when teammates do this right here in the middle of a game. He just, he dipped. He went out. He went somewhere. This mother. Oh my God, this is trash. This dude is trash. Can't stand his. So we about to just at the one game after he stopped playing defense. Indiana, Mendoza. Nah, I don't think Diego gonna win. I think it'll be Mendoza from Indiana. Indiana is the number one seed in college football for the first time. Hell, maybe since the 40s or ever. Now I love Vandy because my favorite quarterback, J. Christopher Cutler, is a Vanderbilt quarterback, and Diego Pavia made them relevant this year. But I don't know. I really think it's Mr. Mendoza. Ken, you said you don't like the Vegas summers. I don't mind dry heat. I went to school in Alabama, so humid summer heat is way worse to me than the dryness. Like, I wouldn't dream of walking down my streets in June or July with any type of alcoholic beverage, but in Vegas, not really the same speed I can tolerate. I don't really know how or why, but it's so different. You know, I get with it. I tolerate as much as I can of it anyhow. That's me personally. Top shutters. I mean, I just don't really think it's a bad time for me to go. No time of the year is like, damn, I don't want to go. You like the Venetian? Okay, so Planet Hollywood is typically where we're housed at or next to. I stay at the Alara oftentimes. More of a timeshare-esque type. You know, the Venetian ain't gonna allow me to be on tomfooleries. But we might, you know, hit the Venetian, the Aria. Oh, I bet. Rach, I bet it is. I ain't never thought about that one. It got to be. I've been the Halloween in Minneapolis, went in the snow for Halloween. MGM, okay. I like to bet at the MGM. I love the sports book. Boom. Circus. I stayed at Circus once before. No, sir. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't. The kids all right. I'm out here for. They ain't gonna stop me. Instead of, okay, I do like the Aria. I like how Planet Hollywood had the themed rooms. So, you know, that's what I like about that. Oh, I went too fast. Get out of my way. Ken, so that's a annual guys trip for me and all my frat brothers and that and everything. You know, people that had the kids and gave them they stresses for the year. Everybody didn't got the. Now I think that's where the pool party typically is at the Venetian Forest, Rach. I'm not much of a pool person or party, but you know, I'm there for whatever they. We ain't been helicopter riding. We ain't been to the gun range. We ain't been, you know, just gorging on foods. We ain't had a Fremont trip. Look at that boy, 100%, 12-3, player of the Gizzle. One more time. I love it. I'm feeling real good. I'm feeling good when I do this. I'm gonna go to work Monday for, you know, a couple hours. I got some union work to handle. We're gonna get it done, and then I'm coming back home. Go get some lunch. Yeah, the gondola ride used to be nice. I'm still always gonna love to watch the fountains blast up out there across the street. Always gonna love seeing all of the characters that rival Vegas. It's always something I feel like I didn't see this time didn't see last time, but I see this time, And we always have good Manhattans, good old fashions, good sidecars. Hey, I'm Ken, single or a guy type trips would allow you to do some of those right there in terms of the economizing, so that you can get the most bang for your buck. Whatever it takes for me to have that enjoyable time is what we're gonna do. Okay. All right. That won't happen again. My bad. You want to keep playing with me? You want to keep effing around and find out then? Mighty G, what's going on with you, Mr. Blue Facts?
Not much, man.
You ain't got your you ain't choke somebody out today?
No, I ain't make it this morning, man.
Oh, okay.
Started moving around a little bit late.
I can dig it.
It was the plan, but it didn't go as expected.
Hey, sometimes you have enjoyable evenings.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up slightly earlier than I thought, but still late. I figured I'd get up.
What's early?
Probably about 8:30. But I thought I needed to be up earlier than that to do a couple things. Some of those things on the back burner right now, but that's why I decided to have an earlier stream so that at least by 2:00 when it's time to be like, hey, you got a couple things to do. You and spend some time out here in these YouTube streets with people who rocking with you. We had a little bit of Bears conversation slightly. Talked about Sharon Moore.
Okay.
And I was intending to talk about some of my better birthdays.
You was intending to talk about some of your birthdays?
Yeah, I forgot about it. I hadn't gotten to it just yet. But like, when you think about undergrad has afforded me some opportunities. We talked about birthdays last night, and it's just funny that's some of my most indelible memories come from collegiate birthdays. I've awakened in vehicles and don't know how I got there. I've woken up on balconies and have no idea that people have full out search parties for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I had the 21st where it's a dry county, so.
Oh yeah. That's gotta be kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, hey. And my 21st, I believe, came on a Sunday. So that's what a dry county affected me. Everybody else, like yourself, Freezy and such, all y'all had weekday birthdays. At least for your 21st. Now here's
what dry county is in Pennsylvania?
No, we ain't getting nothing but beer for shorter. We couldn't buy no alcohol on Sundays in Montgomery.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Come on, brother.
What was that? What was the name of the town?
We go shorter to get beer.
Wasn't it like Pratt? I thought it was like it wasn't Prattville or something like that.
No, you talking about Prattville and Wetumpka, but we go to shorter to get beer. That was what the racetrack was.
Gotcha.
Greg Burns is one of them types. Ken, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for hanging out with me, man. Like I said, check the post for tomorrow. I'm still gonna figure out how to get the stream started. I will be interacting and engaging throughout, but the button got to be pressed at home. Once we press the GD button, we get to watch the beloved or listen to the beloved.
Are you gonna have turmoil at your house tomorrow, ain't you?
No, I'll be outside of the house. I'm gonna have turmoil tonight.
Okay.
Thank you, Rachel
You got a bunch
Q.
of Browns fans.
No, that won't. That see, that's why I'm going outside. The thrill of being behind enemy lines. Usually, it's at the benefit of going to their stadium. Now, since we at home in the game, I just get to go ahead and watch the crushing of a wonderful team called the Browns. Nonetheless, I am in a momentary notice, maybe at about 1:00 was always going to be my the goal. So
You said what happened?
I said 1:00 was always going to be my goal of when I need to shut down and get my life going. So in a bit, I'm gonna end the stream, and then we gonna get into this CP. I can gain about a good 80 CP for us out here.
Oh, pretty cool.
Had a couple win streaks. Then I get dunked on like that. And I'm finishing up this game right now while I haven't accepted the invite. We're gonna get right into it. 17. Then they might give it to this L right here. Yeah, that's right. That's how you stop that. Right now they got in the studio, in the theater. I mean, 2v2 lobs is how they getting extra points.
Okay.
I tried to give him one right there, but I missed. I ain't even throw it up. I forgot the button just that fast. I need you to go. Go. You ain't gonna do it.
No.
He ain't gonna do it. He won't do it. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna press that button on us. Just like Rachel said and Ken, everybody, it's time for me to get moving around the cabin, finish up what I'm doing right here, and then figure out how the rest of my morning goes. I got a couple honeydew list things to figure out so we can have the birthday festivities. Still got to do a little work on your end just because it's your birthday. Don't mean you're absolved from responsibility. Unfortunately. Nonetheless and nevertheless, with that being said, I look forward to tomorrow still. Until next time, I appreciate all the birthday wishes. Hit that like button on your way out. Until next delivery, we're going to get into some birthday celebrations. I appreciate y'all rocking with me today. And let me find this good old screen like nobody else can. We out of here. Thank you very much. Let's get to it. Check my...